5, so it's at the bottom of page 14. So the first two examples we saw in lesson 4, you were given two angles and a side. In this lesson, you're going to be given two sides and an angle. So if you look at example 1 at the bottom of page 14, you're given side C is 4 and side A is 7. So there's our two sides. You're also given angle A is 90 degrees. So when you're given something like this with two sides and one angle, the first thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and find that third side using Pythagorean theorem. So we've got 4 squared plus b squared equals 7 squared. Put that in my calculator, and I get that missing side is 5.7. So side B is 5.7. Alright, now step 2 says to pick any angle to be theta. Remember, any angle works except for where 90 degrees is. So I'm going to use angle C. Alright, now I can set up a trig ratio. Because I know all three sides of my triangle, I can use sine, cosine, or tangent. Either one of them will work because I know all three sides. I'm just going to stick with sine. So I want to find the sine of C. So if there's theta, that would be the opposite, that would be the adjacent, that would be my hypotenuse. So sine is opposite over hypotenuse, so 4 over 7. Now, because I don't have a value there, I'm going to take the inverse. So here is where I'm reading that right here. If you're missing an angle, find the inverse in the calculator. All the inverse is sine to the negative 1. On your calculator, you'll have to hit shift, sine, and that'll get you to negative 1. So I'm going to take the inverse of sine of 4 over 7. Now you can go ahead and simplify 4 over 7 and get a decimal, then take the sine to the negative 1 of that, or you can just go ahead and put sine to the negative 1 of 4/7 in your calculator. So when I put that in my calculator, I get 34.8 degrees. So angle C is 34.8 degrees. So my last step now to find angle B is subtract from 180 to find the last angle. So 180 minus 90 minus 34.8, which is 55.2 degrees. Okay, top of page 15. So, solve the triangle if B equals 6, so across from B would be 6, and C is 10. So we've got B is 6, C is 10, and C is 90 degrees. So now we're going to go ahead and do our Pythagorean theorem. And we get A is 8. Alright, so I've got all three sides, so I'm going to pick any angle but the right angle to be theta. And I'm going to use A. Now I can use sine, cosine, or tangent because I've got all three sides. I like to just stick with sine. You can do cosine, you can do tangent. I'm just going to stick with sine. So I want the sine of A. So let's see, there would be my opposite, hypotenuse, and adjacent. So sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So because I'm missing my angle, I'm going to take the inverse. So sine to the negative 1 of 8 over 10. Put that in my calculator, and I get 53.1 degrees. Subtract both of those angles from 180, and I'm left with 36.